Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Decryption and I hope you are well. In a lot of games where you have a bunch of missions, sometimes it's open world, sometimes it's not, you sometimes have the ability to jump between missions, either at the end of the game or throughout the game, to go back and finish missed objectives, find collectibles that were only available during that time, and other bits like that. Maybe you just really like that mission. Some example games is like GTA 5 has this replay mission screen where you can go down, you can see which ones you've got a gold star on, so you've done all the objectives, or bronze, you've done most of them, maybe the basic ones, and then you can go back and click replay on them. It will spawn you directly in and you'll do that mission. Other games like Assassin's Creed Syndicate have this progress tracker where you can go in and you can see each individual area, how much you've completed it, and then you can go back and replay it. And here's a generic one I found online for something to do with space games or something. So today we're going to look at creating our own version of a quest selector. We're going to do it in a way where you can replay past quests, but we'll add an option in so you can just automatically see all quests. And we're going to talk about how it works, how to do it, and some caveats you really need to think about. So let's get started. So a quest selection UI is pretty simple for what we're going to need it to do, right? It shows all your quests and it lets you replay them, essentially. If we wanted to go deeper to show which objectives specifically you've missed, we can look at tracking that. But we've got to really start thinking how to design our quests going forwards to make it work for the quest selector, as well as making it actually start the quest. So what I mean by that is, let's say this door here is my test door to enter a cave area, just so we can test jumping between areas. If this was covered in rocks or something, you couldn't access it, and we started a quest that said go through that, how were we going to get through it? So let's just imagine it's inside there at the moment. We start the quest, it says go through the door. Well, we can't go through it. But the previous quest was about smuggling dynamite to this area, blowing a hole in it, so the door was visible, then the quest was completed. So we need to start planning the quests in a way. Every requirement that the quest needs in order to play itself fully is checked when the quest starts and actioned properly. So for example, if we start the quest where we have to plant the dynamite here, but we look and the explosion's already visible, then we need to place the rocks back in, remove the dynamite, so the quest can be started from fresh. So that will involve some cleanup. But equally, if we start the quest where we have to go through the door, but the rocks are still there, then we need to move them out the way. Other aspects of this are like if you think of Far Cry games or something like that, where you have a town that's taken over by bad guys, maybe there's a boss in here. If you're replaying the boss level to beat him again because you really enjoyed doing it, you can't really do it if the boss is already dead, so you're going to have to respawn the boss in. So for some games where you just place things down, like I've done with this door, it's not going to work great if you've got conditional things for the quest. But that's where we can just build it in to make it work. So I've just quickly set up this basic cube example, right? Quest 1 this side is you have to come and burn a bunch of these wooden fences down because it's the enemy's fortress, something like that. And that's the quest done. You're supposed to play quest 1, do all of that. That unlocks quest 2. You do quest 2, which is to go to the cube right there. But here's where the issue arises, which is something we need to consider when making this, is if I come straight to quest 2 and it says go to the cube, well, I've not done quest 1 yet, so I can't actually get in there. I've got extra work to do to get in there, look. I can't even come near it. So that's where quest 1 needed to be done first. Whereas if I start quest 1, I can come and burn the walls like it says to. And when I burn the final wall, I've done the objective I needed to do, where I need to clear it all out. So you can see that's burning. I don't need the cube this time, but that's it. The quest has succeeded. The enemies have come back. We can run away happily, right? Blah, blah, blah. Time skips. We can come back to quest 2, where it says go to the cube, and now it's open. So we need to be careful with the way we design it, because you can see I can run straight up to the cube. So realistically, how do we make this work? Because likewise, we can also restart the quest. So if we come to this one and complete it, and then I decide I want to replay that quest again, the walls have disappeared already because we're in the middle of the game. So we need to make sure that all these contingencies are catered for in the quest. And in my example, this is a very simple example, but if you think of other games like Grand Theft Auto, where they destroy buildings sometimes, or spawn vehicles, all that needs to be catered for inside the quest. So let's take a little example before we start jumping into the quest selector, because we physically can't build the selector if the quests don't work. So we'll start with this one, because this one's going to be really easy. This is quest 2, where we have to reach the cube. So I should mention, I'm using the quest system of narrative tales. It's quests and dialogue built in. In theory, if you're using a half-decent quest system, they all should have places where you can put code when a quest starts and stuff like that, right? So what I'm going to do is, on my quest 2, I can come to the event graph and override the quest started event, or however your quest system does it. We're going to start with this one, because this one is where you need to go to the cube, right? So I'm going to simply say the requirements for this is all these walls that are destructible, at least, these ones here, the main ones, are dead. So there's a path for the user to get there. Now for my system, it's just a specific burning interaction class with a tag of burn walls. That's how the quest 1 tracks that they were actually dead in the first place. So for this one, all I'm going to do is get all actors of class with tag. The tag is going to be my burn walls, and it's going to be my interaction of burning walls. I'm going to simply loop over this, and I'm just going to call destroy, like so. Super easy, right? So if it finds it, it does it, else it doesn't. So that means now we can officially start quest 2, even though we've not done quest 1, and everything disappears. You, of course, will hide it better, fade out to black, do it that way, play a cutscene, whatever. But no matter what now, whether I finish quest 1 or not, I can make quest 2 work. But the issue comes from, after we've done quest 2, or if we start quest 1, finish it, cancel it, and come back, we need the ability to put the walls back, because as soon as I open this one, we've soft-locked our game now. We can't burn any walls because they've all gone. So we need to respawn the walls back in. Now, depending on what you're working with, respawning versus just simply making them invisible in the first place might be a better option for you. So I want to try and keep my game as artist-friendly as possible, so I can move these walls anywhere in the world I want, and the quests will just work with it. It's not going to matter whether or not they've been there or not. So I'm actually going to modify my code to not destroy these instead, but simply make them completely unrenderable. They're invisible, their collisions have all disappeared, they've got no traces, they don't exist essentially. But they are still there. That's the key part. Because if I were to grab this and move it into a real game, move it over here, that quest would now be broken if I spawn these in, because when you spawn something, you've got to give it an exact location. We could deal with target points and everything, but that gets really messy at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and open up my burning interaction walls here, and where I call destroy actor here, right at the end, so when it dies, right at the end I play some sounds, move it around, smoke, whatever, I call destroy to get rid of it essentially. But what I'm going to do is untick that. I'm going to drag in, set actor hidden in game, and I'm going to click yes to make it hidden. Set actor enable collision. I'm going to untick it so it's unticked as well. And let's try that and see if that works just like that. You can also come, if you want to, and disable actor tick enabled. If you are using tick for anything, I don't think I am, but that's one thing you can do. So in theory now, I should be able to run up to this wall. It's all normal. If I set fire to it, the tent burns, it looks exactly the same, but I can walk straight through it. Everything is doing good. There we go. So that's a lot easier now, because now that I've got that there, I can copy this and I can come back to quest 2 where we destroy it. I could just paste it here, but what I'm actually going to do, back on my interaction walls here, I'm going to add a custom function called dead cleanup, something like that. And I'm going to move all 3 of these into this new event here called dead cleanup. And I'll run this event right at the end, dead cleanup. We'll delete this off because we don't need it. And then back on our quest 2, we can just drag off and call dead cleanup. So that means, essentially, we don't need to recreate any other thing later. So like if we see there's a bug later, for example, the effects are still visible, we can add it to here and everything will take care of it, right? And now that's going to hide it there. But what we can also do back on the first quest to make it visible again, we can come back to here. I'll add another function above this called live recreate, something like that. I'm going to paste all of these back in here, but I'm going to reverse it so it won't be hidden, it will have collision, it will have tick enabled. and I'm just double checking that I do have tick enabled. No, I don't even have tick enabled, so I'm going to delete those off for mine, because I don't want to enable the tick if I'm not actually using it. It's going to be extra processes you don't need. But now I can come back and copy the on quest started of quest 2, back on quest 1, where we actually have to destroy them in the first place. I can now call the live recreate on it to respawn them back in the world. There we go. So if I come in here, boom, they've disappeared, which is all good. But if I come and start this one, they've now respawned. I can come in and I can actually beat the quest like we need to. So these have pretty much been solved now. It's a lot easier to recreate the quests over and over again. There, it's all working. Of course, we did start both quests at the same time. That's something entirely different. You just wouldn't show one at the same time, or not let yourself pick another that way. But this is just one way of looking at it, because every single problem's going to have a different solution. For example, if you've got a game where you need to kill millions of blueprints or something, you're going to be better maybe actually destroying them and then respawning them in that case. If it's an NPC spawner, they're random, so you can just randomly spawn them in again. For mine, these walls are pretty much going to be in a set location, so I've opted to just make them completely invisible so they're not rendering anything. I've turned the tick off by default anyway, so that's not going to do anything. For all intents and purposes, they are almost destroyed, but they're just holding just a little bit in memory, just in case we need to access it again. But of course, you could always go with the part where you add a target point in, drop it at the location, and just spawn the wall right there, and just add a target point for each place. That's another way you can do it. It depends on what you're really doing. If you'd like to see any more examples of stuff like this, let me know below and the mission type you're going for, and we can have a look at adding it in. So now we've fixed a fundamental flaw with the quest that a lot of people, I'm going to assume, are going to have the same issues, because you build a quest in one way, you never really build it to be repeatable, and that's what we need. So we can come here, look, and you can see it's all still visible. You can, of course, add an efficiency check and actually check if it's all already existing or already destroyed, but you're talking microseconds, nanoseconds, if that, because you're not going to be running this so often. So now we can actually start looking at making our quest selector part. So some other things we need to think about when starting a quest is the character's location and anyone else who needs to be there. For example, if I start this quest here and it's supposed to spawn me right in front of these walls so I can run up and burn them, right? But what if I'm miles away at a different city, different level, different town, different place? That's not going to be too great to restart the quest over here and then have to move all the way over here. You might want it to do that, absolutely. I think some quests in Skyrim make you do the long travel, but some quests you need to be in a specific place. Maybe you've been knocked out and you're in another realm that you can only access once you've been knocked out. You don't want to have to start the quest outside of it, get knocked out just to do the quest again. And there's a few other items like that we need to figure out. We could, of course, build these into the quest directly, absolutely. But if you're playing the game at a normal flow, maybe you don't want the solid restriction of it being right there, but you want it if you start it from the quest spawner. That's what I'm trying to get at with this part. What we're going to do is just not simply list our quests, right? But we're going to list the quests and give them additional options to do if they're spawned from the quest spawner. So for example, if I start this quest from anywhere, it will keep me where I am and I can just do it. But if I start it from the quest spawner or the quest progress log, whatever we want to call it, then that teleports me to an exact location just to assume that it needs to be done. You could, of course, build extra logic in to say if you're in range of this, don't do it. If you're not, spawn them in. But that's something else. And then here comes another aspect that we need to think about. And this might only be an issue with narrative. It might be an issue with other things, I'm not sure. If you want your quest spawner system, which I'm going to call quest selector from now on because I don't keep mixing names up, is you can't actually list the quests that you've not done yet. You can't. You can only list the quests that have been actively touched in some way. You've started it, you've failed it, you've completed it. Other than that, it's just an asset in Unreal. You've got no idea of what it is. This might be an issue for your quest system. Your quest system might have a list of all inactive quests, I don't know. But that's something we need to look at. Whether it does or not, what we're going to do is create a data table where we can just drop in every quest in our system, right? It might be a bit demanding that you have to go through every quest and add it to this data table when you add it. We can work on an editor script to automatically do it in the future, that's fine. But this gives us so much more flexibility, because then we can specifically say what location you're supposed to start the quest from, what's supposed to be there only when the quest selector starts. Maybe you're not supposed to have certain items in your inventory yet. Maybe if I start quest 2 and I get a super unique rare item here, but then I start quest 1, maybe I shouldn't have that item. Maybe I should, I don't know. Some games will reset your entire inventory back. Some games will keep it exactly as you are to make the quest easier. But it gives us that flexibility to do cool things like this. All stuff that the quest itself shouldn't really care about itself for. These ones, these physically soft lock the game. Resetting your inventory or moving you into position, you can kind of just work with it. It's just annoying. So I'm going to come back to my blueprint structs folder. I'll create a new folder in here, quest selector, and open it up. Inside here, I'll create a new blueprint struct, and I'll call it s_quest selector quest. I'll open it up, because this is not going to be all the quests, this is just going to be a single quest. The first one in here will be our quest, what we're going to start. For me, it's a type of quest object, but I'm going to select the soft class reference, because we don't want it all loaded in memory as soon as we start looking at this data table. If you've got multiple quests assigned to one quest somehow, feel free to make it an array. I don't think you would do, but yeah. We can also put the quest type in. So this might be main quest, side quest, something like that. I don't have an enum for that yet, so I'm just going to put is main quest, and I'll add a boolean in. So this is for your like story missions, not your optional side ones. You might not want that, you might. Next, I'll add in move player to location. I'll set it as a boolean. So this is where we can start a quest where it says kill 5 rabbits. You can do that anywhere in the entire world, that's fine. But if we tick it as true, then we can specifically move them to a location. In which case, it is going to have to be a hard-coded vector. You could also do a target point if you wanted, but I feel the world might get a bit busy if you've got thousands of target points for each individual quest to start. It's up to you. I think I will go with a target point actually. Even though it's going to get messy, it's so much more artist friendly. Start location tag. Set this as a name. And what we can do now with this is if I come and add a target point in, just right here, on here, I can add a tag. You can even make it generic if you want to, of cube collection start point. Anything like that. A target point is so minute in size, you shouldn't even notice it. It doesn't tick, it doesn't pull, there's no actions on it, it's just a dead actor essentially. But I can come back to here and I can use that tag for that, but only if it's true. And you can add anything else here, like remove items from inventory or anything like that. That's everything I'm going to put in now for mine. So let's come back to my data tables folder. And I'll create another folder inside here called quest selector. And inside here, right click miscellaneous data table. Set our row structure to be our s quest selector, which I've just realized I've completely spelled wrong. And we'll call it dt quest selector. And then I'm going to come and rename this struct because it looks awful. There we go. And now I'll open up the data table here. So what we can do is essentially add it. And all of this data table is for is just metadata of your quests. So you know what it is. You don't even have to put row names in if you really don't want to. It's up to you. So I'll come and add in the first one, cube 1. And it's a soft class, so it's all not in memory. It's all unloaded, which is really efficient. Is it a main quest? No. Do I need to move the player to a location? Yes. And the one I want is the cube collection starting point, which was the target point we had right there. Then I can add the second one in, and this will be the second cube. It's not, and then I do want to move them to the target point there. For testing, what I'm going to do is just add a third quest over here, and for this one I'll select, I don't know, stolen goods. But for that one, I won't move them into the right position. So here, stolen goods. It is a main quest, but I'm not going to do anything else. That's it, right? So that's our basic data table essentially there. And like I said, if you want to see an editor script to automatically scope over your entire folder in there, wherever your quests are stored, and automatically populate this so you can at least go through and just tick the little options, let me know. It's super easy to do, but it'll be another video. It's a bit out of scope for this one. So this video is getting on quite long, but we've set up the core principles for our system now. So we've got our quests which can be repeated. It doesn't matter which way we complete them. They can be repeated without an issue. And we've got our data table ready. So in the next video, we're going to work on the actual UI for this part. So we're going to take an existing UI, or you can take your own one. It depends what you want. We're going to go through, adapt it, make it work with our system so we can list all the quests and start and stop them as and when we want to. So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this was helpful. If you would like to see the second part of this, it's going to be up on my Patreon at the same time as this for as little as £1, and all the proceeds go towards making this channel awesome, even better. So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Decryption, and I'll see you next time.